and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mimi and today I'm gonna run you through the steps you need to do to become a full-time Pilates teacher. There is already a video on my channel about how to become a full-time yoga teacher. If you haven't yet, make sure to check out this one as well, as there's heaps of information in both videos relevant to you. If you are thinking about switching up your career, becoming a Pilates teacher, or you are a yoga teacher already, wanting to expand your skill set, this video is for you. Today I am sharing everything I learned, how I became a full-time Pilates teacher after teaching yoga full-time, why I made the decision, what my intensive training looked like, and what you can expect if you want to step into the world of Pilates. Here's the thing, Pilates is its own thing and the industry is booming. In Australia only, the Pilates industry grows by 200% every single year. So there are huge opportunities out there for you. Studios are packed. There are so many different classes on the timetables. There's always something new coming out. So this is your opportunity to maybe try something completely new. And this is also one of the reasons why I initially added Pilates to my teaching skill set. It gave me more opportunities within studios, it gave me more permanent time slots, and it brought more structure to my work week. But now it's my passion, I share it with my own online community. Hop over to Patreon if you're not one of my patrons yet. This is where you get first access to these videos, plus some exclusive Patreon only content. So let's get started. Why did I choose a Pilates teacher training? I was already a full-time yoga teacher, and after a few months of teaching full-time, I realized I wanted some more stability. I wanted to be a little bit more valuable to the studios, and I wanted to get a deeper understanding of movement in a holistic way. So that's when I decided to go into Mat Pilates. Starting out with Mat Pilates made perfect sense for me. It's a growing industry. It complements yoga really well, yet is its own discipline. It gave me access to a completely set of new classes, new studios, new partnerships. Quickly about my training experience. This time I did things differently. While I did my yoga teacher training on the weekends, with the Pilates teacher training I wanted a fast track. So I signed up for a training going over 3 weeks, intensive Monday to Friday. And that was about 6 to 7 hours a day. And when I'm saying intense, I mean shaking legs. Every day was packed with learning, movement, practice teaching and feedback. It was full on for these 3 weeks, but I really loved the momentum we built up within that time, and this gave me confidence to go out and teach straight after. What can you expect from my Mat Pilates teacher training? It really depends on which school you're going to. Most trainings are a 100-hour training, structured in different ways, but the most schools out there I've been looking at offer modules like anatomy and physiology, nutrition basics, core movement principles, teaching methodology and cueing, client safety and injury modification, and class planning and programming. Same as some offer business skills. This is a very practical course designed to give you confidence and knowledge at once. So after this course, you are prepared to start teaching your own classes. And with this, it's just like in yoga. If you want to start teaching at studios, you will need your own insurance, which you can only get if you have A certificate, and B, a CPR and a first aid certificate. Your CPR and your first aid are usually not included in your course, so you have to do them separately. They won't break the bank, but just plan in an extra day to get those done. Now let's talk about the difference between teaching yoga and teaching Pilates, because there is one. Before I started teaching Pilates, I thought it's gonna be very similar to teaching yoga, but I was wrong. First of all, I personally find teaching Mat Pilates physically more exhausting than yoga, because I like to demonstrate a lot, and demonstrating many classes can be draining. On the other hand, teaching yoga means you're preparing a flow, you're building up to a peak pose, you are transporting some philosophy within your class, you're holding emotional space. That's not the same in Pilates. In Pilates, you can follow a structure or a framework which you can use over all different classes. And while it's important to deliver a safe and inclusive class, you're not as much holding the emotional space or weaving in philosophy as you do in yoga. So during the Pilates training, I found it quite exhausting to teach due to the physical aspect, but after graduating, I personally find Pilates teaching easier than yoga teaching, which is another reason to add it to your skill set. If you're a yoga teacher, it will help you balance out your energy level. That said, teaching Pilates still includes a lot. Here are some of the skills involved. Knowing which muscle groups are being activated and worked out. I like to ask my students at the beginning of class which muscles they want to work, if anything in particular, and then it's up to you to find exercises for that. Understanding your students' goals. Are they there for strength, for endurance, just to be in community? Do they want to work on their posture or on toning? Cueing with confidence and clarity. That's a big one for both disciplines, but in Pilates I find you often need way more cues to get someone into the right body awareness and adapting safely to injuries and limitations. While in yoga I often feel into the practice and get an understanding of where the room is at and what to feel like today. In Pilates I find it's more about being precise, teaching safe and body awareness. Now coming back to that growing Pilates industry. There are so many studios out there looking for teachers. We are actually here at the Gold Coast having a teacher shortage. What are studios looking for in a good teacher, and how can you be this great teacher? Building up a full-time teaching schedule within only 4 weeks, I found the following. Studios are looking for someone who is reliable. You need to be there on time, start your class on time, finish your class on time, make sure you're engaging with the community, you're communicating well with the studio owner, you let them know if you need a cover, you're hopefully not needing a last-minute cover too often, so simply bring a reliable skill set. Secondly, it's great to have creative classes and well-structured. In Pilates, it's all about layering onto the single exercises you're doing. Being creative with that is something studios love to see. You can get heaps of inspiration by going to your own classes or from social media. Also, don't deliver the same class each week. Keep it fun and fresh so your students love your class. If they come back each week, the studio owner will see that. They will check numbers, how many students are booked into your class, and make adjustments according to that. And lastly, what I found is that some studios are looking for someone who fits into their social media presence. And that's totally up to you if you're up for that and how you want to handle that. So basically a studio wants someone who's not only teaching a safe and great class, they want someone who helps building up the class from week to week, making members come back, joining challenges, engaging with the studio. So just like with yoga, you need to bring energy, consistency and a bit of your own flair. Now let's talk about opportunities within the Pilates industry. I mentioned it in the yoga video already. I went into a completely unexpected pathway when it comes to being a Pilates teacher. After finishing my Mat Pilates Teacher training, I did a very specific Reformer Pilates Teacher training. It was tied to a brand. So I'm not going into talking about Reformer Pilates Teacher training here, but just saying, considering how popular Reformer Pilates is, I definitely think the training is worth it. With those 2 trainings to my name, I had a lot of opportunities coming at me and many doors open. Even just as a Mat Pilates teacher, you can do way more than teaching classes. Besides teaching group classes, you can teach private classes, you can work in group fitness studios, you can go into online teaching, start hosting or helping with events and retreats, looking into corporate events, or maybe create hybrid offers with something you're already doing like nutrition coaching, physiotherapy, pregnancy fitness, you name it. What I'm trying to say is that once you are certified, you can shape your career however you want it. Mentioning the yoga video again, this is where I gave you insights on how to get your first few gigs. What I'm always recommending is have a strong network, go to studios yourself, attend their classes, talk to the studio owners, look at teaching styles of different teachers, be within the community, and sign up to Facebook group where last minute covers are requested, and be super flexible in the beginning. For the first 4 weeks I was driving the Gold Coast up and down every single day. I was teaching every class that was thrown at me, and this helped me massively building up a full-time schedule within that short amount of time. And besides of getting permanent spots through covering a lot, I also was able to build up my confidence, my skill set and my knowledge, and was very quickly an experienced teacher. Adding the Pilates skill set also changed massively how my weekly structure looked like. Instead of going to a studio just teaching a yoga class, I now got offerings to teach doubles. So I would teach a yoga, a bar and a Pilates class. Means triple the income for only a little bit of more time. It also helped me working better with props like blocks, weight, balls, booty bands, rings, again, you name it. So yes, teaching both really gave me more income, more confidence and even more opportunities. We're coming to one of my favorite sections, what not to do as a Pilates teacher. Firstly, and I can't say that enough, please never ever teach for a studio for free. They are still making money with the members signed into your class, and your service has a value and you're gonna be confident with that. You put a lot of money into your training. It's not gonna be able to pay that back if you teach for free. We're not giving away services for free. Set clear boundaries with your studio, know your knowledge and stay within your scope of practice. As mentioned earlier, there is a huge need for teachers out there. I found some studios trying to sometimes push you into roles you are not really ready for yet. Stay strong and set your boundaries. Don't overwhelm yourself too much with taking on things that you are not ready for yet. Always staying professional. Even though we are in a business of flexibility and we might become friends with the students in our class, being professional towards your students and your studio owners is what sends out the energy of this being your career. The network is small and teachers and studio owners are talking underneath each other. So I recommend always staying professional to all different shareholders. Big one for me was learn that you don't need to demonstrate each exercise. Get your cueing up to a point that you don't have to demonstrate every single exercise. Protecting your body. It will be exhausting teaching 3 classes in a row, and if you do that up to 20 classes a week, you won't want to go to the gym anymore or visit own classes to get inspiration. It's completely normal that at the beginning you do need to move your body to be able to cue the movement. But invest a little bit of time into your own education to get yourself up to a point where you can just cue without demonstrating the exercise too much. Your body will thank you for that one. Now let's also talk money. A teacher training initially costs quite a lot. This is because usually it's a really good training and it is a career change for many. So after this training, you are prepared to go and make money. The other reason why it costs a lot is that the industry is booming. It's popular to become a Pilates teacher, and unfortunately we see that in training prices. What can you expect to be paid? This is extremely different from studio to studio and also from Mat Pilates to Reformer Pilates. It's not as regulated as in yoga, but from my own experience here at the Gold Coast, I can again say you should be earning between $50 to $75 per class. Again, this is per class, not per hour. So that means driving to the studio, opening it up, delivering a great class, chatting to the students, cleaning up afterwards, and probably locking up the studio. So technically, unless you're doing 2 or 3 classes, it will take you 2 hours per class. You're gonna pay your tax, your insurance, and anything you need for teaching from your income. Keep that in mind. This is not a net income. However, personally, I find I don't need much to be a good teacher. I need some workout clothes, and we teachers get really good discounts with most brands. But apart from that, you need a reliable car, and that's it. What does full-time teaching look like? Delivering 15 to 20 classes a week is considered full-time. Again, because it is physical work, it takes more time than an hour, and classes are usually in the mornings or in the evening, indicating that there aren't as many classes throughout a day. With this base rate though, you will earn enough to cover a full income. However, what was recommended to me was not seeing teaching as the only career path. As a teacher, to make a stable income, it is always recommended to build up different income streams next to your teaching. So maybe teach online classes, run retreats and events, do some private classes, and so on. The pay rate for Reformer Pilates teachers is usually a bit higher. I don't have much experience in that, so I'll leave that to someone else to give you information about that. Keep in mind, with Reformer Pilates, you usually don't need to demonstrate the exercises. Might make it a little bit more challenging to teach, especially at the beginning, but could also be a great skill set to add if you want to balance out your physical energy. One of the biggest tips I can give to you if you are looking at how to get permanent classes is having patience, being flexible, and sometimes being annoying. Honestly, being annoying is one of the tips my head teacher, who has decades of experience in the industry, gave to me. Let studios know that you really want a spot on their timetable. Show up to their classes, check in with them, send them an updated CV if you've done an extra training or gotten deeper into your education. Always stay in the loop and keep communicating with them. You will be on top of their mind if a slot frees up and they urgently need a teacher. And that's happening very often. Teaching slots are not planned far ahead, they are short notice. So don't be surprised if you have 0 classes this week, but 10 classes next week, because someone starts to adding in extra classes with the change of seasons or with more members signing up because Pilates is extremely popular. So should you become a Mat Pilates teacher? Personally, I would say absolutely. While I haven't seen many people doing the Mat Pilates teacher training for their own experience like it's often in yoga, I still think you learn heaps for yourself going through a training like this. So even if you don't want to teach afterwards, it's a great personal skill to have. Also, you are carrying this skill with you and you don't need much to offer it. After training, you can teach wherever you go. And apart from that, I think it's a beautiful career to be in. I personally love engaging with the members, I love having a chat and the socializing aspects of it. But also the other alleys it opened up for me, and it might open up for you. There are so many opportunities out there we can't even dream of. This industry is constantly growing and evolving, so we don't even know yet which jobs are built within the next year. If you have any questions left, drop them below, give me a thumb up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!